completed on the portal. And then they should choose topics. Like the latest one was on cancer. The previous one was on mental health. The other one was on nutrition. That means it's not specific on drugs, but it's public health related topics. And how this become one of the priorities of the future annual work plan. Like on the 2020 work plan, you would see that there is a specific joint action on mental health that was chosen through this steering group on prevention and promotion of health. And this would be implemented with the member states' competent authorities. That means it's not the Commission who decides who is going to participate, it's not an open call, but the countries would be invited to nominate who are the key experts that should be involved. And then they would be founded, and they could associate other organizations like practitioners associations that could be implementing the intervention they decide to jointly implement. We have as well a good collaboration with EMCDDA, and I think it was a very good proposal from Marika this morning that EPPIC results would be promoted on the best practice portal. And this would be a good source of information for the different practitioners in the EU. That is, what are the channels that we can offer you as well to make the EPPIC results available for those in need? Because now you have been much more concentrated in implementing. And now I think we need to move to a phase is sharing the knowledge, making things visible and applicable for those who have been involved, but as well for those who are not aware about what you are doing. That means we have something that's a tool, that's the health policy platform. And this is an open platform that you just register, and you can create events, you can create webinars, you can even create a discussion group. Every time you post something on the health policy platform Agora, that is the open page, this becomes a news on the next newsletter. And now we have 7,000 people who have been registered and are informed, and these are in all member states, health authorities, civil society organizations, practitioners, researchers, and anyone is open to sign and receive the newsletter. We have as well a new European open data portal where all the information that is funded by the EU is publicly available. And one of the tools that we use, and EPPIC is part, is the European Health Program Database. That means all the public deliverables of EPPIC would be publicly available on the database. And here I have the layman version of the report, and I think this should be very carefully written, because you have not just to summarize the final technical report, but really make something that's attractive, that's summarized, and you can use like a booklet, something that presents the key findings of each one of the work packages, and you have to define who are the audiences you would like to reach. It would be those that would be supporting your sustainability in the future. And all the deliverables that you produce here, the internal ones will be shared by the Commission. That means we have 2 DGs who are working on harm-related health related to drugs. That is DG Home, that is the main leading DG that's responsible for security, and for DG Santé on the health-related harm. That means they will have access to your reports. And then we have, I don't know if you heard about HARI-ACT, I'm finishing. HARI-ACT is a joint action that was implemented between 2015 and 2018. And they have very interesting tools and trainings. They are much more focused on infectious disease among drug users. And they have very good tools. One of the tools that I think would be very interesting and was developed by Heino with his team in the Frankfurt University is this e-learning module developed in prisons. And there is a large, extensive portal with different trainings for practitioners working on prison health, how to ensure continuity of care. And there might be a possibility that EPPIC final results could be as well made available there. This is the view of the database. And now, who are the key stakeholders at the European level that you should target to promote the availability and use of your outputs? I think the RATOX network, these are the key experts at national level that do the monitoring of drug use and identify what are the best practices that could be applied at national level. I think this is something that we need to discuss with EMCVDA, and I don't know if you had already the opportunity to present to the RATOX network, because we have twice a year meetings with them and would be a good opportunity for you to present. We have as well the Civil Society Forum that is hosted by the Home, and these are civil society organizations from every country, and they would be as well a good target group for you. And these are publicly available contact persons. That means you can just add them on your mailing list and share the information. Now I will talk just about the future, if the chair allowed me. We are now, I would say, in a transition period. That means we are ending the current health program, that is 2014-2020, and we are negotiating the future. And the future would be, under the health, there would now be a new health program. The health program was included on the European social program, and we would be working jointly with, I think it's quite interesting because we are working with employment, we are working with structural funds, and with the EASI, that is the social innovation program, and we are coordinating about priorities, how to implement, how to bring stakeholders together. And this is just a proposal now, because we were expecting the election on the parliament, and now there would be a negotiation that is ongoing, and this new program would be adopted by end of 2020. The envelope of health, you see, is not the largest, but it keeps the same amount as we had on the previous 7 years. That means we would keep more or less the same value. But what we are trying is to improve the health priorities on the other programs. Because as it would be an implementation following the health policies, we want to increase health on social policies, on employment policies, on security policies. And then with that, we would like to have more funding for health. And here you can see the large priorities that are more or less the same ones. And I think the key issue here would be how to improve the best practice for health promotion and disease prevention. And here is where drug-related harm would be fitting in. And you will be able to fund policy analysis, policy implementation, capacity building of networks and partners, and ensure communication and dissemination. We are always looking for experts because we do not select ourselves the projects that are funded. We always have 3 experts who are assessing the proposals and then making a short list, and based on the funding availability, we found those who are best ranked. And you are always welcome to register as an expert. And the expert database is open for the different European programs. That means you can select the health program, but you can work for RTD, for the research program, or for the educational program, or for the security program, depending on your specialty. And I think this is my overview, and I managed to do that in 70 minutes.
And 18 seconds. Thank you very much.
Very shortly, I think there seem to be a lot of opportunities to expand the impact of the project, and you gave a lot of examples for that. I'm going to quickly give the word to Betsy for her concluding remarks. Are we there yet?
Do you want to say anything, to come back and say anything?
If there is any question.
If you have questions, there are so many things, very little time.
If there is any question, we welcome. If you like to make any comments.
Just are your slides going to be available for us?
Yes. I went quite quickly, but they would be available, and then you have my contact details as well. You can always write, and we can follow up on some of the suggestions.
Especially, I would like to say that it would be terrible if you closed the website. You need to make sure the website, even if you don't contribute, but you need to keep it, you know, at least the page open. Absolutely, that is something really important. And also, yes, maybe, you know, we didn't want to touch on the Brexit drama.
I would just, in the Brexit drama, I think this is something that I knew that maybe I would have a question. For us, now we are waiting for the negotiation. That means until the end of 2020, UK is a member state. That means you are still eligible to participate, and you will be invited for meetings. That means we will continue working as usual. But then we need to have a decision by the end of the year. And then we hope to have an agreement. And in this way, you would be a third country that has an agreement with the EU, and you could maybe choose to participate in specific programs. But to participate in specific programs, this means you need to have a bilateral or a multilateral agreement. And this is what we don't know. But this is a decision that is political from the UK and from the Commission. And this is something that will take maybe some years, because we have the example of Switzerland that is already more than, I don't know, 5 years or more, that is still under negotiation. And this is something, but like with Canada, it worked quite well and quite quick. And Canada is able to participate. But we don't know what's going to come out. But we hope to continue the collaboration.
Well, so do I. We promised to end very quickly at 12:30 because people have to rush off for trains and planes. So I just want to say a couple of things. First of all, thank you very much indeed to everybody who's participated in the conference and helped us to run it efficiently, particularly Christiana Rose over there, who managed the technology this morning eventually. And the team of students and helpers who have helped to direct us around and look after our food, etc. And then, of course, I want to thank the people who've been part of the advisory group for the project, who've been a really valuable asset all the way through the 3 years. And to those, some of you are here, who've been part of the partner projects, the country projects, and given us advice again during the period of the project. The partners, of course, have been invaluable and have worked very, very hard. And despite a few tensions over different disciplines and language and a few other things which we won't mention, they have come up trumps, and we've all remained friends at the end, and that's really good. And I think we have produced something that we can all be very proud of. Then I would also like to thank finally Cynthia for helping us, and our chairperson, Susanne, and Jean-Paul for doing a really good job and nearly keeping us on time. And everyone else, the practitioners who have linked in and brought their posters and their stalls and told us a lot about the services and the work that goes on every day that we are not always aware of. So thank you very much, everybody, for your contributions. It's not the end. We've been given a lot of good ideas of where we might go and what we might do, not least the fact that we would like to keep the network together, and that includes not just the researchers, but the practitioners as well. We really benefit from your involvement with our work. That would be one area that we would really want to advance. The other is obviously, can we do something with these quality standards? Can we collaborate with practitioners to look at how, if they are implemented in practice or used in practice? We need a bit of money for that, of course. And of course, the final thing is, can we produce some offshoots of the work, the other areas that have been emerging to do, as you said, with mental health, a big issue in the EPPIC findings, mental health issues, to look at different groups, gender differences, for example, or ethnicity difference, and the immigrant issue that has turned up. There are lots of issues that we can still do a lot with, as well as exploiting the data that we've got. So I do feel we're not at the end of the EPPIC project, we're actually at the beginning of the EPPIC project, and all we need now is a bit more money to take it forward by the next step. But I hope you've all enjoyed the conference, I have, and I hope you've enjoyed London, and you've been really, really lucky. But the storms are coming, so get home safely, and we hope to see you all again in the not too distant future. Thank you.
Thank you.
That leaves me again to wish you all a very safe and comfortable trip home. And while doing that, you know, let your thoughts go what you can build. Thank you very much for being here.
Thank you.